Hello and welcome to 20 Lore Pro. We're here at Clockwork Games in College Station for their Lorcana 1K. We're here in round 4 of 6. We're in game 1 watching Toupaloop piloting a Ruby Sapphire list against Adam piloting a Amber Ruby list. I don't want to assume that this Ruby Amber player is playing a Mufasa list, but you never know. Toupaloop, being a member of the 20 Lore Pro community, we know Toupaloop is playing this Ruby Sapphire ramp deck. We'll have to see what Adam brings to the table, as both players are 2-1 in the tournament. Goodness, this, I want to say that Adam has a queen on the board. That is pretty quick. There's Adam with a dock. Toupaloop, turn 3, hopefully playing a Fishbone Quill, but has a Heart of Defeaty instead. I think his opponent had to read the card. I have to read the card too as I'm here pulling it up. I believe you pay to put a card off the top of your library into your inkwell. May be mistaken though. There's that Heart of Defeaty up there on the screen for you. That is exactly what it does. Every so often, y'all's announcer SirAshtown here can remember cards. There's Adam with a Mufasa, infamous for this Amber Ruby deck. Adam having really a clear opportunity and chance to be able to start questing as much as he wants. Doc being a quester for 2 lore. Really a strong start here from Adam compared to Toupaloop's empty board. Toupaloop at 5 ink seems to be trying to rush maybe to 7. Adam going up to 14. This may be a very quick game 1. We'll see what Toupaloop can do. Drew into a Maui. That can at least take out the Queen or Mufasa, or even that 2 questing Doc. Would seem like a pretty good strategy for Toupaloop. That dock there on the screen for you to see helps reduce the casting cost. I should rephrase that. Helps reduce the cost of a character. Toupaloop choosing to take out the Queen. The Queen being a great singer, not able to sing any longer. That Shift Queen combo that we saw here from Adam is incredibly strong. Able to shift for just 2. I don't believe 3, 4, 5. I don't believe that Toupaloop inked that last turn. It looks like Toupaloop has 6 uninkable cards in his hands. 3 of those being Gaston's, a Lucky Dime, a Be Prepared, and a Scar. I'm getting some behind-the-scenes knowledge for you to hear on Twitch today. There's Toupaloop revealing his hand. Not enough inkables. That can be a big challenge for these Ruby Sapphire decks if they're playing too many uninkable cards. And off the top, drew another Be Prepared for his last card for the match. Toupaloop now doing the pile shuffling here, trying to spread out some of those Be Prepareds, making sure that he doesn't draw his unequal cards once again. Adam, though, despite Toupaloop's challenge of having ink, was really able to show such a strong beginning with queen into the shift queen with the Doc and the Mufasa on board. Very strong clusters very early. That was a fast game 1 by Adam. Congratulations to Adam on winning game 1 of round 4 as we enter here into game 2. Again, we want to thank Clockwork Games here in College Station, the home of A&M, for hosting today's Lorcana 1K. We appreciate them allowing us the opportunity to stream and to show y'all the best here in competitive Lorcana. I'm your announcer, SirAshtown. Behind the scenes is our producer, Luxac. And today's head judge is from the 20 Lore Discord. Some of you may know our founder, Stunning Rob. We want to thank some of our sponsors for today's tournament. One of those being Nexus from Waco, Texas. If you're ever in Waco, head on over to Nexus. They have a esports lounge as well as a trading card game play area where you can find some of the latest and newest games to play on their computers. We want to thank GFQ Underground for making playmats for our Hunter Burton Memorial Hunt Championship that happened last week. We were part of the streaming and announcing crew for the Hunter Burton Memorial. If you missed any of those rounds from last week's tournament, you can head on over to our 20lore.pro YouTube, where we'll have all of those games for you to watch Sunday night. If you missed any of today's rounds or are having to leave early, head on over to YouTube later on this week, where we'll post these rounds to our YouTube. We try to post every Monday, whether it be these tournament rounds or a deck tech. We'll try to get some of these rounds up as soon as we can next week, but for sure we'll have the Hunter Burton Memorial rounds up for you to view by Sunday. Thank y'all so much again for coming on Twitch and watching in today's tournament. If you have a Twitch Prime and you haven't used it yet, we'd love for you to call 20 Lore Pro your home. If you want to get the latest news on 20 Lore Pro and our upcoming tournaments, feel free to follow, that way you get notified of when we go live next. If you want to join the 20 Lore Pro community, head on over to 20lore.pro/Discord, where we have just reached 3,000 members in our Discord community. We have tons of deck techs, deck discussions, and really upcoming previews of what's going on in competitive Lorcana. Here we are in game 2 of round 4. Again, Adam with the Shift Queen combo. Another early start, very powerful from Adam. Adam really showing the power of Amber paired with Ruby, as we saw the power of Mufasa and Doc last game. Here's Toupaloop having a fishbone quill this match with 2 popsicles on board. We'll see what Toupaloop can do, having 4 cards in his inkwell. Quite a bit ahead right now compared to his opponent, Adam. Adam inking a Surfer Stitch, going into a Dock. If this isn't reminiscent of game 1, I do not know what is. Adam at least sticking to the same strategy and playbook. Toupaloop, however, having a stronger start this time, as we see him developing his inkwell a lot quicker than he did during the first game. We'll see if Toupaloop can really utilize this ramping ability. Plays a Flavor Sham, able to draw 2. Adam talking to Toupaloop about his card. Uses that fishbone quill. Having 6 cards in his inkwell, now Toupaloop has the ability really to play the majority of cards in his deck, whether it be Prepared or Scar, or his top end cards that he tries to win the match with, like Tamatoa. We'll see what Adam responds with coming up on his turn 4. Adam already up to 4 lore is okay questing, knowing that this Flavor Sham can't do a lot of damage, and knowing that Toupaloop's gonna need a Maui if he wants to take care of Adam's Queen again. And very, again, reminiscent from game 1, plays a Mufasa on turn 4. This Mufasa really being pretty fun. I kind of like this gambling game of chance that we see with Mufasa, really not knowing what character this card might turn into. Toupaloop questing with Flavor Sham, drawing 2 more cards. Having drawn 4 cards total off of this Flavor Sham. Goes up to 7 in his Inkwell. This can be a pivotal point for Ruby Sapphire players, getting up to 7 ink, deciding what they want to play. Adam getting a flip off of the Mufasa. Looks like it turned into a Minnie Mouse Surfer and evasive questing powerhouse from set 2. Honestly, pretty great card to spin off to from a Mufasa. A card that on your turn is going to be able to quest safely, not having been challenged by a card like Maui. Not sure if Toupaloop plays the Maui's Fishhook, but Minnie Mouse is able to quest here. I'm being told that from the last match we saw that Toupaloop does play 2 Fishhooks. And there's a Hades from Adam. Looks like he got back the Mufasa. Staying, does go up to 5 ink in his Inkwell. Adam choosing to use the strategy of flipping the cards in his sleeves to represent his Inkwell. Toupaloop really thinking about his plays. Chooses to do another Be Prepared, saying that Minnie Mouse Surfer as a huge challenge to his strategy. Adam's 10 to Toupaloop's 1. We'll see what Toupaloop can do here to pay off his high ink count. Adam with another Mufasa. We're really seeing a lot of these Ruby, Amber, Mufasa decks come in favor. As we saw Beta Candio do a deck tech with the 20 Lore Pro team back in Season 2 over this exact deck list. It's now been revamped by Beta Candio, and he took it to get a top 8 finish at the 8K that happened last weekend. Toupaloop trying to figure out what he needs in order to get this match, if he can. It's so difficult when you're staring down 10 lore from your opponent. Plays a Tamatoa, targeting obstacle, using it and drawing a card. Tamatoa seeing 2 items on the board. Adam goes up to 12. Plays a Hydra. I have not seen this card yet. Hydra, Deadly Serpent. Whenever it's dealt damage, deal that much damage to chosen opposing character. It's uninkable, but it can quest for 2. Having a 6/5 body makes it quite strong. That Tamatoa is strong enough to take it out. Adam only having 1 card left in hand. We know that Toupaloop has used 2 Be Prepared so far. A third one here may not be that bad. Decides to use that 5 power Tamatoa to swing into Adam's Mufasa, which reveals one of the 101 Dalmatians, not the one I'm showing on screen. I believe it's the father, Pongo. See if I can't find Pongo. There he is. Pongo at 3/2. Once per turn, you can pay 2 to reveal the top card of your deck. It's a character put into your hand. What a strong card right now for him. Looks like Toupaloop, as I was pulling up the card, was able to clear the board, however. Looks like Toupaloop has 11 cards in his inkwell. Adam having 2 cards in hand, one of them being this Mufasa he just played. Tamatoa not saying... I'm sorry, Flavor Sham seeing 1 item in play, able to draw Toupaloop 2 cards. Flavor Sham during round 3, really doing a lot of work for Sergio, now doing a lot of work for Toupaloop. Madame Medusa into Madame Medusa. Toupaloop chooses to use that Maui to get rid of the card that Adam put in play with Mufasa. 1 card in hand, now 2 from Adam. Finds another Pongo. Able to play cards off the top once per turn. Actually does find a character. This is probably a good situation for Adam to be in, able to just use Pongo to reveal cards off the top, getting them in play. Has this Windy Darling, which can quest for 2. Toupaloop having Madame Medusas, 2 of them, to get rid of all of Adam's board state. What a back and forth game we have here for game 2 of round 4. Adam playing another Hydra. This Hydra being a strong character that caused Hercules to have quite a bit of problems. Almost didn't defeat him. Toupaloop trying to read this card. Can really take out quite a bit of things. If used in the right way. Toupaloop getting back a Popsicle. Able to play and draw a card. Gets another Popsicle. Toupaloop's board state here is getting a little crowded as he's got so many cards in play. Adam having 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ink in his inkwell is ready for a top deck Be Prepared. We'll see if Adam is able to get that. We'll see if Adam is even playing Be Prepared. He may just be on a total creature list package. I know some of these lists tend to play 1 or 2 Be Prepared, or if not, they're playing Scars. Again, Adam at 15 to Toupaloop's 3. If Toupaloop isn't able to start questing here very soon, he will see this match come to an end. Adam is representing with the, I believe that's a Rapunzel, quite a bit of lore on the board. That Hydra able to quest for 2, Pongo able to quest for 1, and that Rapunzel able to quest for 1. Every bit of lore really presenting a lot of just closer to the end game here by Adam. Toupaloop playing another Maui. Just to get rid of Pongo, dealing 3 damage to it. Has the fish hook that he's able to play for free, giving something evasive. Make sure that that Maui gets the 3 damage on it. Well, we'll see if they'll remember. Actually, let's see what's happening here. Quite a bit of cards on Toupaloop's side of the board. Looking at Adam, with just Rapunzel, we have a judge call on the board state and being informed by our producer in the background. We'll have to see what the judge call is about. As soon as I find out, I will let y'all know. In the meantime, let's take a peek at this Maui's Fishhook. Really a strong card that can be played for free when you have a Maui on the board. This Fishhook can give a character evasive or really Challenger 3 in addition. So it appears that Toops missed a Tamatoa return of an item. Tried to do it after Tamatoa had already left the battlefield. I'm sorry, the play area. We'll see what the judge decides to call. But here's Adam going with a Hades and a Doc on the board, really presenting game unless Toupaloop has something to respond. Toupaloop was able to gain a lot of cards in his Inkwell, but may not have the ability to finish off the match here. Adam having a lot of threats. I believe he's counting how many items he's got. 4 items. Able to gain 7, go up to 17. Unless Toupaloop has something in his hand, like more items, I think this is going to be Adam's win. We'll see what happens. Here's Tamatoa questing, returning an item back to his hand. Goes up to 15. I believe he played a Lucky Dime, and that would give him the win. Lucky Dime at 7. What a great play by Toupaloop, taking that game 2, choosing the Tamatoa to gain so much more past 20. That was an interesting match from both Adam and Toupaloop. Toupaloop able to squeak it out all at once there at the end, going from 10 lore past 20. That's the power of Lucky Dime. We want to thank everyone for joining us here at 20 Lore Pro as we are streaming Clockwork Games in College Station, home of A&M's Lorcana 1K. I'm your announcer, SirAshtown. Joined with me in the background is our producer, Luxac, and our head judge for today's tournament is our founder of the 20 Lore Pro Discord, Stunning Rob. We want to thank everyone for joining us here on Twitch. If you would like to see more of competitive Lorcana and what 20 Lore is doing, go ahead and subscribe here or follow to get the latest news. If you miss any of the tournament rounds from today's tournament, head on over to our 20 Lore Pro YouTube, where we have tons of videos from previous tournaments as well as deck techs into the latest competitive Lorcana format. We want to thank everyone for coming out today and for giving us your support here on the 20 Lore Twitch. We also want to thank Nexus for coming and helping us in support by giving us part of the streaming equipment needed for today's footage. If you're ever in Waco, Texas, and you're looking for a place to play any esports or trading card games, head on over to Nexus. We want to thank Adam and Toupaloop for volunteering to play today on today's feature match. It's always great to be able to see players compete at this stage. Again, we want to thank Clockwork Games here in College Station for hosting today's tournament. If you are ever in Texas playing in any of these big tournaments, feel free to come on over and say hello to us as we travel around the state to give you the best in competitive Lorcana. And here we are in Game 3 of Round 4. Adam piloting Amber Ruby versus Toupaloop piloting Ruby Sapphire. Exciting to see what these two players bring to the table as we see Mufasa versus Ramp. So we know that some of Toupaloop's payoff cards, we know that he has the Tamatoa. And really what gave him the win that game was the Lucky Dime. But we didn't see a whole lot of ramp from Toupaloop's side of the board. The majority of his ramp relied on two specific key cards. We saw the Heart of Tefiti, and we saw the Fishbone Quill. Aside from those two ramp cards, we haven't seen any other ramp from him. Adam has been very consistent with his playbook, playing the turn 1 Queen that he has then used to shift into the 5-drop Queen that really is a powerhouse quester and challenger. The 5-drop Queen able to sing a lot of songs, but not the case in Adam's deck, as we haven't seen anything outside of characters from Adam. Adam is, however, playing Doc, which not only makes his cards cost a lot less, but also gives him the ability to quest for 2. And here is from Adam, straight out of the playbook we just talked about, the turn 1 Queen into the turn 2 Shift Queen. That's something about playing card games, is you can write up a strategy when you're sitting down at your desk, and sometimes you don't see it play out on the board. While Adam, having this incredible not only the incredible strategy of doing this shift move, but also being able to have it consistently play out on the board, means that his mulligans or draws must have been very good. Toupaloop with a popsicle, looking to go into his turn 3. We'll We'll see if he's got Fishbone Quill. One of the cards that his deck is probably really looking to play, if not the Heart of Tefiti. Sometimes these early plays, especially for Toupaloop, to set up to get into the late game are vital. Make sure you play the right sequencing of cards when needed. Toupaloop taking his time. Adam has really set himself up. Normally on turn 3, he's got the dock down. We've seen that several times before, where that dock has helped him on turn 3 to then turn into a turn 4 Mufasa. Adam, not really worried about that Mufasa leaving the board, has turned into some pretty strong cards this game for Adam. One of those cards being the Minnie Mouse Surfer. It was such a challenge that Toupaloop during the last game had to be prepared at the board state. And there is Toupaloop with a Fishbone Quill. Adam questing up, going from 4 to 8. I believe it's a Minnie Mouse Surfer that's on the side of the board. Adam really just presenting these two characters able to quest each turn for 4 really demands an answer by Toupaloop if he does nothing. There is a 4th Inkwell, our fourth card in Adam's Inkwell, playing another character able to quest. It appears to be a second Minnie Mouse Surfer. I may be mistaken. Twitch chat, you can correct me over there. Sorry I can't read y'all today. We're trying to conserve our internet power as our producer is reading your chats and able to text you as your questions come up. If you were here earlier in the day, our internet went out for the tournament, but we're thankful to be back and be able to show you these matches. If you missed any of the earlier matches or have to leave early today and you missed any of the later ones, head on over to the 20 Lore Pro YouTube where we'll post those later on this week for you to enjoy. Toupaloop thinking about his plays. Interestingly enough, Toupaloop could have played that Maui to challenge into the Queen. Chooses to not play the Maui, maybe setting up for a Be Prepared next turn. Toupaloop may even have a second Maui, we'll see. Plays a Madame Medusa, getting rid of the Surfer Mini. That Surfer Mini really having done a lot for Adam this game. As I've said before, sometimes taking 1 or 2 minutes on your turn to really set up the right plays and the right sequencing can cause other turns to go a lot quicker because you know your strategy that you're trying to accomplish. Here's Adam just questing up to 12, not really worried about playing a whole lot other than that, knowing that Toupaloop has the ability next turn to play a Be Prepared if he chooses to. The Queen having been there since turn 2, gaining a lot of lore for Adam this match. Toupaloop up to 7 is Inkwell. May not be the time to be prepared, but we'll see if he decides to. I'm having 2 cards in his hand. I don't believe that we've seen a Mufasa yet this match either. Does decide to play a Be Prepared. Not using the Fishbone Quill, sends it back to Adam. 3 cards now in Adam's hand. Plays a Medusa for no targets. Toupaloop now with a Flavor Sham, eating up another popsicle. Again, his favorite snack for Flavor Sham is those Zootopia popsicles. Able to draw Toupaloop some cards. Toupaloop decides to really ink one of the cards. They probably draw Flavor Sham, pass it back to Adam. Toupaloop has 0 in his lore count compared to Adam's 12. We talked about this earlier, but some people are playing 2 and 2 of the Madame Medusa and Leah Tremaine. Not sure if Adam's playing 2 and 2, but he is at least playing Leah Tremaine in some form. Leah Tremaine able to clean up cards when you least expect it if you're not ready for just having one character out on the board. Toupaloop, be preparing. Sending it back to Adam, who now has no characters on the board, 2 cards in hand. Grabs a Hades, bringing back a Minnie Mouse Surfer. Probably a good choice, as now Adam's up to 13 to Toupaloop's 1. Toupaloop now facing not only the Hades, but the Minnie Mouse Surfer. This Minnie Mouse Surfer, just having the evasive and the ability to quest for 2 lore, makes it quite a strong card. We'll see what Toupaloop can do to come back. Here's that Minnie Mouse on the board for you to see. Hades, always able to cause recursion if it does leave. Able to get a card back from the banish pile to your hand. Goes up to 16. Playing a Pongo. We saw Toupaloop does play Scar. He may possibly have a Scar in hand, able to clean up some of Adam's board, but not the Minnie Mouse itself. Almost dropped his card to his Inkwell. Adam now having the ability to quest for 4, presenting game on the board. Has to find a way to deal with these characters before he gains too much. Toupaloop at 1 lore to Adam's 16. We saw Toupaloop before play in PPG Houston, getting top 16. That was about a month ago. Playing a Emerald Steel Bucky list. Here he is today playing a Ruby Sapphire Control Ramp list. See who's able to control the board, as we've already seen 2 Be Prepareds from Toupaloop. Toupaloop having that scar we discussed earlier, not able to take control or take care of the Minnie Mouse Surfer. If this Minnie Mouse Surfer stays around for too long, it could spell the end for Toupaloop. Minnie Mouse just being a great finisher in a lot of decks. Passes it back to Adam, who is able to untap with it. Gonna at least gain 3 lore this turn, going up to 19. Reveals a Mufasa off the top with the Pongo, I believe. Goes to 18 with the Minnie Mouse. Decides to quest with the Pongo, going to 19. And plays the revealed Mufasa. Adam presenting game on board unless Toupaloop has another Be Prepared. We'll see if Toupaloop has it or a way to draw to try to find it. We see a Tamatoa, and that is it. Toupaloop shaking Adam's hand. Adam is your winner for round 4 here at Clockwork Games, Lorcana 1K. We want to thank these competitors so much for playing here in today's tournament for Toupaloop and Adam. Adam playing a Amber Ruby Mufasa deck list, really showing the versatility of Mufasa. We want to thank them both for coming out here today to Clockwork Games in College Station for today's 1K. Again, my name is SirAshtown. I'm here with 20 Lore Pro. If you missed any of today's tournament rounds, head on over to our YouTube where all of them will be posted for your viewing pleasure. If you would like to see more of our tournament coverage in the future, follow us here on Twitch, subscribe, or head on over to YouTube where you can always get our updates as the videos get posted. Head on over to the 20lore.pro/Discord to join our community where we have tons of deck discussions and events that are coming up. We want to thank y'all again for joining us today, and we will catch y'all here in the future. See you in round 5.